Formulas that clear heat. Bai Hu Tang, White Tiger decoction. All ingredients: Shigao 30 to 90 grams, Jimu 9 to 15 grams, Jigansao 3 to 6 grams, Jingmi, which is white rice, 9 to 15 grams. Clears chi level heat and drains stomach fire, generates fluids, and alleviates thirst. Indications are high fever with profuse sweating, an aversion to heat, red face, severe thirst, irritability, a flooding and a forceful or slippery and rapid pulse. May also include headache or toothache. May include bleeding from the gums and bleeding from the nose. Bai Hu Tang is commonly thought of as treating the 4 bigs: big fever, big sweat, big thirst, big pulse. This formula treats blazing heat in the Yangming channel, and it treats disease of the Qi level, of the 4 levels of disease. Cautions and contraindications are a pulse that is not big, or in other words, a pulse that may be floating, wiry, or thin, submerged, or anything like that is a contraindication. Must have a big pulse. Remember the 4 bigs. Another contraindication is the absence of thirst. Again, remember the 4 bigs. Absence of sweating is a contraindication. Again, 4 bigs, big sweat. Some Western illnesses that may be associated with this formula would be indicated by high fevers, so acute infections like flu or influenza, scarlet fever, typhoid fever, encephalitis, meningitis, pneumonia, hemorrhagic fevers. Can also be used for hyperthyroidism and certain fevers related to cancer. Not limited to these conditions, however. Has also been used for sunstroke, diabetes, gastritis, psychiatric diseases, and unrelenting seepage after burns. Has also been used in measles, dermatitis, allergic dermatitis, periodontitis, and acute stomatitis. Modifications. If there's a concurrent wind cold in the exterior, add Chongbai and Danduchi and Qi Xin. For concurrent red and swollen eyes and a headache, add Huang Lian and Huang Qin. For pain and swelling of the gums and a headache and a nosebleed, dry mouth, and constipation due to lung heat and stomach fire, add Da Huang. For wasting and thirsting disorder, diabetes, or heat that is injured the fluids, add Qianhua, Fen, and Lugan, and Mai Mendong. For petechiae, irritability, restlessness and disorientation, and insomnia, add Huang Lian Jiedu Tang. Huang Lian Jiedu Tang. Coptis decoction to resolve toxicity. All ingredients: Huang Lian 9 grams, Huang Qin 6 grams, Huang Bai 6 grams, Jishi 6 grams. Drains fire and resolves toxicity. The indications are high fever and irritability, dry mouth, dry throat, incoherent speech, insomnia, dark-colored urine. Tongue is red with a yellow coating. The pulse is rapid and forceful. Can also use for nosebleed or vomiting of blood due to excess heat. Can use for carbuncles, deep-rooted boils, and other toxic swellings. Can also be used for dysenteric disorder or jaundice due to damp heat. Cautions and contraindication. This formula is very bitter and very cold. Should only be used for patients with a robust constitution. can easily injure the yin and should not be taken long term. Use in these Western illnesses, but not limited to these Western illnesses. Septicemia, pyemia, dysentery, acute gastritis, acute hepatitis, cholecystitis, pneumonia, urinary tract infection, stomatitis, periodontitis, meningitis, encephalitis B. Also used for insomnia and hypertension and sequela of stroke. Modifications. For constipation, add Da Huang, and for jaundice due to obstruction from heat, add Yin Chen and Da Huang. For urinary frequency due to damp heat in the lower burner, add Mu Tong, Zhe Xie, and Xie Chen Ci. For nosebleed or vomiting of blood, add Sheng Di Huang and Mudan Pi and Xuan Shen. For dysentery with blood and mucus, add Mu Shang, Bing Lung, and Qin Pi. Xie Xin Tongue. Drain the epigastrium decoction. All ingredients: Da Huang 6 grams, Huanglian 3 grams, Huang Qin 3 grams. This formula drains fire, resolves toxicity, and dries dampness. Indications are fever, irritability, and restlessness with a flushed face and red eyes, dark urine and constipation, and a greasy yellow tongue coating. In severe cases, there will be delirious speech. Can also be used for epigastric focal distension with jaundice or diarrhea or dysenteric disorder. Could be vomiting of blood or nosebleed with swollen and red eyes or ears, and ulcerations of tongue and mouth. Cautions and contraindications are cannot be used in spleen deficiency with cold. The key indications of this formula is extreme fire or heat, and it's to drain it downward. So think bleeding, especially from the upper body due to the excess heat that is stirring the blood, or excess fire that's flaring. Can be used in these following Western illnesses, but not limited to these Western illnesses: infections or purulent inflammations, hemorrhages, stomach hemorrhage, lung hemorrhage, or colon or uterus, and even brain, as well as hemorrhoids. Can also be used in cerebrovascular diseases like hypertension or atherosclerosis and stroke. Can also be used for schizophrenia, bacterial dysentery, pelvic inflammatory disease, and trigeminal neuralgia, and more. Modifications. For trigeminal neuralgia, add Chuanxie and Wugong and Shan Tui. For Yang Ming and terminal yin headache, add Sini Sun. Qingwei Sun. Clear the stomach powder. All ingredients: Huanglian 3 to 6 grams, Shengma 3 to 6 grams, Mudan Pi 6 to 9 grams, Shengdi Huang 6 to 12 grams, Dangwei 6 to 12 grams. This formula drains stomach fire and cools the blood and nourishes the yin. Indications are toothache, facial swelling, fever, bad breath, dry mouth, red tongue with scanty coating, pulse is slippery, large, and rapid. Other indications are bleeding and sores on the gums, and a swollen, painful tongue, or lips, or jaw. This is heat accumulation in the stomach and the Yang Ming stomach channel. Cautions and contraindications. It's contraindicated in cases with toothache is due to wind cold or it is due to kidney deficiency. Can be used in the following Western illnesses. Stomatitis, periodontitis, glossitis, trigeminal neuralgia. Not limited to these. Think Western illnesses or any disorders that are affecting the head. The stomach channel goes to the head, so think disorders affecting the head. Modifications. If it's accompanied with a strong thirst for cold drinks, remove dangui and add xuanshen and tianhuafen. If it's accompanied with heat in the yang ming channel of the large intestine with constipation, add dahuang. Dao Chi Sun, or guide out the red powder. All ingredients: Sheng Di Huang, 3 to 6 grams. Mu Tong, 3 to 6 grams. Dan Zhu Ye, 3 to 6 grams. Gan Sao Shao, 3 to 6 grams. Clears the heart and promotes urinations. Indications are irritability with a sensation of heat in the chest, and a thirst with a desire to drink cold drinks. Red face, possible sores around the mouth or tongue. Tongue is red, pulse is rapid. And to be used for dark and scanty and rough and painful urination. Also urination with blood. This is usually for heat in the heart channel, that heat has transferred to the small intestine channel, and therefore the painful urinary and the bloody urine. Cautions and contraindications are spleen and stomach deficiencies. Can be used for the following Western illnesses: stomatitis, oral sores or thrush, night terrors, pyelonephritis, cystitis, and urinary tract stones and UTIs. Modifications. For yin deficiency, add Shihu and Jimu. For bloody urine, add Mohan Lian and Bai Mao Gun. For tongue sores or sores around the mouth, combine with Wuling Sun. Longdan Shigantang, gentian decoction to drain the liver. All ingredients: Longdan Xiao, 3 to 9 grams. Chao Huang Qin, 6 to 12 grams. Ji Zi, 6 to 12 grams. Mu Tong, 3 to 6 grams. Che Qian Zi, 9 to 15 grams. Zi Xie, 6 to 12 grams. Chai Hu, 3 to 9 grams. Sheng Di Huang, 9 to 15 grams. Dang Gui, 3 to 12 grams. Gan Sao, 3 to 6 grams. This formula drains fire excess from the liver and gallbladder and clears and drains damp heat from the lower burner. The indications are pain in the hypochondrium, headache, dizziness, red and sore eyes, loss of hearing and swelling in the ears, a bitter taste in the mouth, irritability, short temper. The pulse is wiry, rapid, and forceful. The tongue is red with a yellow coating. Use this also for UTIs or difficult and painful urination with a sensation of heat in the urethra, or bad smelling leukorrhea. Use for shortened menstrual cycle with reddish purple blood. Cautions and contraindications of this formula is be careful to not use long term due to possible injury of spleen, and don't use in cases of spleen deficiency. Some Western illnesses that this formula can be used for, but not limited to these following Western illnesses: rhinitis, viral hepatitis, acute cholecystitis, vulvitis, orchitis, pelvic inflammatory disease, herpes zoster, eczema or rash, eye diseases such as conjunctivitis, or hemorrhage or hemorrhagic glaucoma, hyperthyroidism, Cushing's syndrome, and polycystic ovarian disease. Can be used for migraines and hypertension, uterine prolapse, and UTIs. Some modifications: in case of severe signs of fire flaring and less damp signs, remove mutong and cheqianxi and add huanglian. For more signs of dampness and less signs of fire, remove huangqing and shengdi huang and add huaxi and yiren. For leukorrhea that is pale red with a wiry rapid pulse, add qishao and lian shu. In case of ulcers on the external genitalia, remove chai hu and add lian xiao and huang lian and da huang. For headache that is severe and with painful red eyes, add juhua and sangye. In case of coughing up blood due to liver fire injuring lungs, fire attacking metal or wood attacking metal, add mudanpi and sibaye. In case of tremors of wind, add guteng and chuanbeimu. Bai Tu Weng Tung Pulsatilla decoction. All ingredients: Bai Tu Weng 12 to 18 grams, Huang Lian 6 to 9 grams, Huang Bai 9 to 12 grams, Chin Pi 9 to 12 grams. This formula clears heat, resolves toxicity, cools the blood, and alleviates dysenteric disorders. Indications are abdominal pain, tenesmus, and a burning sensation around the anus, diarrhea containing more blood than pus, thirst, tongue is red with a yellow coating, and the pulse is wiry and rapid. This is a hot dysenteric disorder due to the heat toxin in the stomach and intestines, causing a burning sensation around the anus with blood and pus in the stools. Cautions and contraindications are because of very bitter and cold herbs can injure the spleen yang and should not be used long term. Contraindicated in cases of spleen yang deficiency. Use this formula for the following Western illnesses, but not limited to the following Western illnesses: amoebic and bacterial dysentery, IBD, inflammatory bowel disease, ulcerative colitis, and Crohn's disease. Also can use for conjunctivitis and pelvic inflammatory disease, gonorrheal urethritis, hemorrhoids, and hysterical tremors. Some modifications: in case of concurrent signs of an exterior conditions like chills and fever, add Gugan and Huangqin and Jin Yin Hua and Lian Xiao. If tenesmus is severe, add Mushang and Bai Xiao and Bing Lan. In case of urinary frequency and urgency, add Mutong and Bai Mao Gun and Jin Xian Sao. In case of hot, swollen, and painful eyes, add Juhua and Mudan Pi and Hong Hua. In case of amoebic dysentery, add Shi Liu Pi. For bacterial dysentery, add Chin Pi, Di Yu, Xian Hesao, and Mu Shang. Qing Hao Bie Jia Tang, sweet wormwood and soft-shelled turtle shell decoction. All ingredients: Bie Jia, 15 grams, Qing Hao, 6 grams, Shengdi Huang, 12 grams, Jimu, 6 grams, Mudampi, 9 grams. This formula nourishes the yin and vents heat. Indications are night fever and morning coolness with no sweating, emaciation with no loss of appetite. Tongue is red with scanty coating, pulse is fine and rapid. This is for heat lurking in the yin aspects of the body, occurring during the later stages of a warm heat pathogen disease. Yin is depleted and the body is unable to generate sweat, which would normally occur. Cautions and contraindications are cases of early stages of warm heat pathogen disease when the pathogen is in the Qi level. This formula can be used for the following Western illnesses: low-grade fevers during recovery of infectious disease or fever of unknown origin, or chronic pyelonephritis and pulmonary or renal tuberculosis. Some modifications are: in case of lung consumption, add Xia Shen and Mo Han Lian. For coughing and wheezing, add Sang Bai Pi and Z1. For night fevers of the summertime and morning coolness in children, add Bai Wei and Lian Geng. For fire blazing from deficiency, add Bai Wei and Digu Pi. For 5-center heat with yellow urine, add Bai Mao Gen. For fevers of unknown origin due to yin deficiency, add Digu Pi and Bai Wei.